Fasting benefits. What kinds of fasting there is, how to obtain the maximum benefits, and what is the best kind of fasting. Do you know the best kind of fasting? Let your comment below so I can help you out. Nice to meet you. I am Dr. Corassa, a nutritionist from Brazil that have been living a natural hygiene lifestyle for 17 years. That means I have been not just studying the medical literature and lifestyle medicine, but I have been applying it to my daily living to a T. That means I have already fasted for 40 days on water. I do intermittent fasting for 18 hours per day, and I've been an avid student of fasting for 17 years. If you want to know more about fasting, I would highly recommend you to read my book, Hygienic Fasting Nature Surgery, now translated to English and available on Amazon, Kindle, and print on demand. It's the most updated and complete book on fasting in the world right now. So, what are the kinds of fasting and what are the benefits? According to the Global Burden of Disease study, more than 600,000 millions adults in the world are obese right now, and 180,000 million children. And we know that a high BMI, body mass index, being overweight and obese, raises the probability of having chronic diseases like cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, liver diseases, diabetes, cancer, musculoskeletal disorders. A BMI higher than 25 that is overweight, it's not even obesity yet, is associated with 4 million deaths worldwide. So understanding that we are eating a lot and a lot more than we need and eating a lot of junk food, it's really important for prevention of disease and death in the planet. And it's quite common for the animal kingdom and for the vegetable kingdom to fast. And that we know for more than 100 years that animals that fast actually live longer and have less chronic diseases. Now, Dr. Valter Longo have been showing that a fasting mimicking diet is a kind of fast, actually helps to treat cancer. But what most people don't know on fasting is time-restricted feeding. That means not just fast, it's important, but when you eat your food, when you fast is even as important as. That means we are diurnal creatures, so we were made to eat in an early time-restricted feeding. We are made to eat everything in the morning and to fast during the night. So the most important part to understand about time-restricted feeding is eat during the daytime when it's light outside, when the sun is shining, and restrain from eating when it's getting dark or when it's really dark. Because we end up eating at night just because of electric lights and not because we actually feel hungry at night. Because if you are in the dark, you're not going to enjoy your food and you're not going to feel hungry. So check it out, the benefits of time-restricted feeding. Reduction in insulin, but a higher insulin sensitivity, a higher beta cell function to produce the insulin. Lower blood pressure, lower oxidative stress, lower appetite in the evening. It's pretty impressive because they test time-restricted feeding in mice, and when they eat out of their chronobiology schedule, that means mice are nocturnal creatures. And so when they eat at day, they get fat. When they eat at night, they still maintain their leanness, even though the diet is not as good. So in a cohort of 420 overweight obese patients to eat the same amount of calories, isocaloric diets, but some of them stopped eating at around 3 p.m. and the others had the last meal around 7, 8 p.m. And what they found is that the people that stopped eating at 3 p.m. lost more weight than the others. So time-restricted feeding reduces fat mass, increases lean mass, reduces of inflammation, improves heart function with age, increases mitochondrial volume. The mitochondria is really important for our health. Even improved repairing process. That means improved healing in the body. So also time-restricted feeding influences your microbiota, increasing bacteroidetes, a species of microbiota that is important for health. A research showed that just 25 days of 18-hour intermittent fasting was enough to coordinate the circadian rhythm of the microbiota and the metabolism of the host. That means you can modulate the circadian gene expression. That means in less than a month, with intermittent fasting, you can have huge benefits in terms of gene expression and microbiota. And even the certain ones, the enzymes that cause repairing of the organism. So we have to differentiate water fasting from hygienic fasting, that is water fasting like animals do in nature, to juice fasting, and also to intermittent fasting. So in intermittent fasting, you have alternate day fasting. That means you can fast for one day and eat for several others. Or you can also restrict calories, like just eat 25% of your calories to that day and the other days you eat normal. So you may do intermittent fasting in several different ways. Or there's also the 5-2 fasting that Michael Mosley popularized through the documentary Eating, Fasting and Live Longer from BBC. That is actually you eat normal through 5 days in the week, and 2 days you restrict calories to around 700 calories per day. You eat 1/3 of what you normally eat. And also there's the fasting mimicking diet. Valter Longo, a famous fasting research, because there's really hard to comply with fasting, and even more with water fasting, even in chronic disease patients. He just created a fasting mimicking diet. That means eating only 500 to 600 calories per day, but he created meals that are in like powdered form, or those power bars that you can actually order online from his Prolome company, and you can eat at home in like 5 days. It's plant-based meals with severe caloric restriction. So the fasting mimicking diet, he suggests to do only a few times per year to help the body to do the autophagy and to turn on these repairing mechanisms. He was actually worried about the safety and the side effects that happens during fasting, that most people cannot go to a clinic and do a water fast in a medically supervised water fasting clinic. So that's why the fasting mimicking diet is a way to deal with these symptoms and hardship of doing a water fast, but still reaping a lot of the benefits. I don't think it's the same benefits as the fasting mimicking diet doesn't provide the same benefits of water fasting, but still it's the closest we can get without supervision. He showed the fasting mimicking diet is really helpful for several chronic diseases, even type 1 diabetes. He showed that mice can actually regenerate the beta cell pancreatic functions and the beta cells in the pancreas to produce once again insulin. So, do you like the video? Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button, comment below, share the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want my help, I can attend you as a nutritionist, online or in person. We have 6 online courses. We run raw food retreats here in Brazil, and I also highly recommend you to read my 10 books, but primarily the Hygienic Fasting Nature Surgery. If you don't read in Portuguese and you are interested in fasting, you can find this on Amazon, print on demand and Kindle. It's a must read. If you like the video, don't forget to click these videos and go through the description to see the contact and other videos to watch.